Hey, Garrett, just curious, Mike Munchak mentioned this morning that he thinks being in his second season with you is really going to pay off. What's your opinion on being back with him for a second season and what he can do for you?
That's huge for me. Me and Coach Munchak have a really great relationship. We talk regularly during practice, before the game, after the game, just trying to get me better. This is the first time in my career that I had the same O-line coach for the second year in a row, and I'm just looking forward to our relationship to continue to get better. I trust him. I believe in him. I know he believes in me. I just got to do whatever I can to make him know that he can trust me.
Next up, Arnie Stapleton. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Garrett, all off season, the plan was that Elijah and you were going to have this training camp battle, and then Juwan opts out and Elijah moves back over. What did you think about that? Were you looking forward to that competition and bring out the best of you, or were you glad that it's kind of going back to how it was last year?
I didn't even worry about a competition. I was just worried about getting myself better. It's all about me. That's how I am this year. My zone is GB zone. I just want to focus on me, how I can get better. You can bring in, Hall of Famer Joe Staley, Joe Thomas. It really doesn't matter who I was competing against. I just have to get better of myself. I have to be the best version of me. And as long as I do that, I know where I can go and what I can do and what I'm capable of.
Next up, Jeff Legwell. Go ahead, please.
Garrett, I'm just curious, as you went into the off season, did it ever bother you last season, the reaction of the home crowd after penalties or something like that? Is that something you thought about or that you thought about even into the off season?
Listen, our fans are some of the best fans in the country. They deserve, the best football here in Denver. We have a tradition of winning. And it's unacceptable for the way that I played, and I take full responsibility of that. But what I do is, nobody likes to get booed. And so I took that upon myself to get better. I did whatever I can. I took sets. I worked out hard. I put on, 20 extra pounds. I did whatever I can to make myself better, the best version of me moving forward, because I know this is a very important season, not just for me, but my family. This organization is counting on me to be the best version of myself. And I know whatever I had to do this offseason to get myself ready, I did it.
You say you added.
Go ahead, please. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Seth. I just wanted to make sure. You said you added 20 pounds, Garrett?
Yep. So I'm sitting around 305. I've been around, 310 to about 305 is where I feel comfortable at. So I feel good. I'm moving good. I'm the strongest and fastest I've ever been. And so, I put in that time because I knew coming into here I had to do whatever I can to be the man. So this organization can trust me, the fans can trust me, and we can get back to where we belong. And that's in the, AFC Championship to a Super Bowl, and that's our plan. That's our plan every year. I know we have the quarterback and, the receivers to do that, the defense to do that. Now it's just up to me to protect Drew of all that I can.
Next up, Ryan, go ahead.
Hey, Garrett, you played for a couple of quarterbacks here. How would you describe Drew Lock's presence in the locker room and in the huddle so far?
I love Drew. Me and Drew have a great relationship. I think he's a phenomenal athlete. He's a great leader. I think he can capable of doing anything. I think he's going to be a very special quarterback in this league, and I look forward to blocking him for many years. That's my goal, is to do whatever I can to make him feel comfortable back there, to move the guys off of him. It's really nice knowing that I have a mobile quarterback that can move, and I'm not always perfect on every play, but having a quarterback that can see that and move and get open and hit our big time receivers that we have for big gains. That's what we are. Our offense. We have a great offense. We have a great offensive coordinator, and I know Drew's doing everything he can to lead this team.
Next up, Mike Kliss, go ahead. Mike, your line should be unmuted. Go ahead. Okay, we'll come back to Mike. Brandon, go ahead, please.
Garrett, Dalton's talked a lot about you guys growing together and how he helped you out and you helped him out. How nice is it to have the same guy next to you for the second straight year and a talented young guy like Dalton?
Just like I said about Coach Munchak, having Dalton next to me is phenomenal. I love that kid to death. The minute he came, relationship, he's like my little brother. It's big brother, little brother thing. That's how we are. But I trust him. Whatever he says, I listen. I think the knowledge of the game that he has is phenomenal for such a young left guard in the league. I think he's going to be a big-time guy with, a lot of Pro Bowls and a lot of things coming his way. He's a humble guy. But having him next to me is huge. We trust each other. I know exactly where he's going to be. He knows exactly where I'm going to be. I think we can build something special. You know, I look back in the old days of the Niners with, you know, Joe Staley, Mike DiPatti. You know, that's something that I think that me and Dalton shoot for, because that was a dominant left side football for many years when Coach Harbaugh was there. So, you know, we talk about that. You know, that's our expectations, but right now it's early. We just got to trust each other, continue to get better, work on our mistakes, continue to build our communication. And I know if we do that, we're going to have a phenomenal year.
Next up, Mark Kisler, go ahead.
Garett, your intense competitive nature and your passion for protecting a quarterback are both good things. But I feel sometimes in the past, both of those attributes get you emotional enough that lead you to penalties. Do you feel like you've allowed your emotions to get the best of you on the field sometimes? And to what extent have you worked on that?
I mean, I think I've done a lot of things. This offseason, I took it seriously, you know, to really work on my mental game. You know, do whatever I can to make myself mentally ready. You know, I worked on a green box analogy, which, you know, when something happened, I can't physically take that back. If it happens, I got to let it go and move on to the next play. I think, you know, coming into this training camp, I think I've done a really good job of, you know, when I make a mistake, I let that mistake go and it's on to the next play. You know, I'm a very emotional guy. I play with the passion. You know, that's something I think that's a huge attribute for me. I think that's why, you know, the Broncos drafted me, because I have that energy. I have that fire. I don't want to say it got the best of me, because I don't believe that's true. You know, there's things that happen on the football field that I can't control. I just got to continue to get better, work at my technique, make sure my hands are in the right proper, you know, areas so that I don't get called for holding and things like that. But I think I did a phenomenal job the last 5 games of the year of really trying to, you know, learn and to improve with having Drew back there and Coach Munchak drilling me. And I'm just going to, you know, continue to get better and pick up where I left off last.
Guys, time for a few more. Next up, Troy Rank.
Garett, thanks for joining us today. You know, this is a business, and you've probably learned that at the NFL. When they didn't pick up your option, what was that like? And you sound like you still want to be a long-term piece to this future. What is your view, kind of is your status here when they didn't pick up that 5th-year option?
That was out of my control. You know, I can't dictate what, you know, Mr. Elway or, you know, those guys up front do. But what I dictate is how I play on the football field. That's exactly what I can dictate. I can focus on myself. I can focus on, you know, my teammates. I love my teammates. I can focus on Drew. I can focus on everything else. You know, I can't control that. My agent will take care of that when the time comes. But I know if I play good football and I play the best that I can be, then I know I can be here for a long term. I know I can play at this level at a long term, a long time. And I know if I just focus on me and being the best of me and letting the, you know, not getting too high with the highs or too low with the lows, I know, you know, I'll be exactly where I need to be.
Last two, Zach and Romy. Zach, go ahead, please.
Hey, Garett, where do you feel you've improved the most this year compared to last year on the field?
That's a very good question. I think I think I'm physically stronger and mentally stronger as well. I think I focus those two things, you know, having, you know, 8 months off and not being in the building. I really can just get away and focus on myself, the best version of me, focus on my family. You know, my kids are getting big. And so I really got to spend time with them, which made me realize what really is important. You know, football is one thing, but family is the most important thing. And when I focus on that, I know, you know, they can push me to be the best football player that I can be. And that's what I try to be. So I really just focus on getting stronger, the strongest I've ever been, and just being mentally ready. I know this, like I said, this season's very important, not just for me, but this organization. And as long as I just continue to work on the things I need to work on, I know I'm going to be ready for whatever comes my way.
Last one, Romy, go ahead, please.
Garett, you spoke earlier about your relationship with Mike Munchak. You said you trust him, he trusts you, and you know he believes in you. What is that, as you work on strengthening your mental game, what does that mean for you, knowing that you have a coach that's fully invested in you reaching your full potential?
That's huge. When somebody trusts in you, you know, the trust doesn't come easily with a lot of people. You know, going throughout my life, I know, you know, it's hard for me to trust people, but I know Munchak has the best, you know, he's the best O-line coach in the National Football League. You know, he's a Hall of Famer. He could have 2 gold jackets, exactly what Dalton said to y'all a couple weeks ago, because I truly believe that. He's just a phenomenal coach. He really, truly cares about us. He loves us unconditionally. And he wants us to be the best version of ourselves because he knows what we go through on a regular basis. with media, with, eating and, everyone coming after us with, from all different directions. But that's big. I love him. I'm extremely grateful for him. It's not easy for a coach to come in here and, hear a lot of negative about a player, and just love me from the minute I met him. So I try whatever I can to get that back to him by playing the best football I can. And I know if I do that, then he's going to be happy and I'm going to be happy, and so will everyone else.